dramatically reduces redness.
In 1 minute.
And look at the difference.
My eyes look brighter and whiter.
For up to 8 hours.
It was love at first sight.
With Lumify. See for yourself.
My son really had to be head of the household because I became a dependent. My tip is, every time I wanted to smoke a cigarette, I would think of my children.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT now.
Hey, it's E.T.
E.T.?
It's E.T. at the Emmys.
TV's biggest night just moments away, so
happening now.
Less than 2 weeks after becoming a convicted felon, Michelle Barrientos Vela back in a Bexar County courtroom to begin the sentencing phase of her trial.
Northeast ISD is bringing on a former Secret Service agent to serve as their new Senior Director of Safety and Security. Why the district isn't just sticking with its police department.
And if you noticed a slightly cooler touch to the air earlier this morning, you're not mistaken. It was the coolest reading we've had at the airport since late June. But will it be a trend? We're going to talk about it in just a bit. The News at 5 starts right now.
More allegations against a former constable aired out in court today, and this time it is personal. Her own deputies testifying at the sentencing of Michelle Barrientos Vela that she mistreated them.
The subject was off limits during her trial, but now that she's convicted, it is front and center. Dylan Collier, live outside the Bexar County Justice Center. Dylan, sentencing phase of her trial got underway today. What kind of sentence is she facing?
Well, Steve, the former constable is facing between 2 years probation and 10 years in prison after a jury this month convicted her of tampering with records for security at Rodriguez Park on the west side. And while that case focused on Barrientos Vela's interactions with the public, her sentencing will explore what was happening behind closed doors at her Precinct 2 offices. Her former lieutenant, Jeremy Minor, testified for hours today about the ex-constable's behavior toward her own staff, describing her decision to send a half-dozen people from her office to retrieve a deputy's gun in early 2019 as excessive, and that she exaggerated her legal experience, always throwing it in people's faces that she had at one point worked as a paralegal. Minor did not mince his words.
He was a cancer in her office. I mean, that's basically from your description what I did.
I believe she was a cancer to her own office.
Minor is the first of at least 20 witnesses the state plans to call. Sentencing will run through tomorrow, then, if needed, and in all likelihood, will resume again in early October. What is still not known is whether either of the two deputies that Barrientos Vela is accused of targeting specifically, Leonicio Moreno or Christopher de la Cerda, will testify during sentencing at any point. Day 2 of sentencing will resume at 10:30 tomorrow morning. Reporting live downtown, Dylan Collier, KSAT 12 News.
And we'll continue to cover it. Thank you, Dylan. Well, school security getting a lot of attention, and the Northeast ISD bringing on a former Secret Service agent as its Senior Director of Safety and Security.
It is a brand new position created after the Robb Elementary shooting in Uvalde. Garrett Berger on why the district says it's needed and what security will now look like.
For NEISD Police Chief Wally McCampbell, the district's incoming Senior Director of Safety and Security is a must-have position.
You are taking one person who does nothing more than look at our safety and our security protocols that we currently have in place.
That means going around every day to look at procedures in place, overseeing mandatory drills, and making recommendations to campus administration.
We want to be proactive and make sure that we're doing everything we can and looking at that 24/7, during every school year instead of waiting until the next story hits.
Chief McCampbell says this is stuff the district's been doing. It's now just condensing it into one position.
A position to be held by the soon-to-be former head of the San Antonio Secret Service Field Office, Special Agent Paul Duran. While Duran will report directly to the superintendent, the district says he will work closely with the district's risk management office and its police department.
My job as law enforcement is to handle an active shooter, and I'll just say active shooter, where his job is going to prevent that active shooter.
Duran wasn't available for an interview today, but he's quoted in the district's news release as saying, "Beyond the physical protection measures, a comprehensive approach encompasses response and recovery, as well as prevention, mental health support, anti-bullying programs, and school culture." He's expected to begin his job October 3rd. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Some other top stories we're following for you. We're working to learn more about a deadly shooting on the city's west side. It happened Sunday morning at the intersection of Latigo Drive and Rawhide Lane, not too far from Marbach Road. That's where police found a 17-year-old teenager with a gunshot wound to his arm in a parked car in the middle of the street. Officers say that teen was trying to help his 21-year-old brother who was shot in the head. That man, the 21-year-old, later died at the hospital. Right now, there is no word on any suspects.
Some scary moments for a woman who was hit by a pickup truck on the northwest side of town. This happening around 6:30 this morning on Fredericksburg Road in Balcones Heights. Officers tell us that the woman was trying to get to a bus stop when she was struck. She was taken to the hospital and is doing okay. The driver who hit her did stop for help and is not facing charges.
Turning now to the vaccine rollout here in Bexar County. 2 different health organizations giving out the COVID-19 bivalent vaccine booster shots in San Antonio this week. University Health will be offering Pfizer's version to people 12 years and older with no appointment needed. Metro Health offering the Moderna version at its clinics and pop-up vaccination sites. Those will be given on a first-come, first-served basis due to limited supplies. We've got a list of locations where you can get that shot posted for you on KSAT.com.
It may be Hunger Action Month right now, but empty bellies are a year-round problem for many who are at risk for food insecurity.
Our Max Massey has more on how you can help fill some of the community's biggest food needs.
Yes, we're here at an RBFCU location, and take a look at this, a red barrel filled with food. Some great donations already to start the day. Joined here with Mary from the food bank. So, Mary, when you see a red barrel filled with all of these donations, what does it mean to you?
It means that there's some hope going to the community. So this food is going to go directly to community members who are facing food insecurity.
Now, we are in Hunger Action Month. Why is this month so important?
This month is important because it really highlights food insecurity across the nation. So food banks across the United States are amplifying Hunger Action Month. We're wearing the color orange here. And really, it's just looking at what food insecurity is in your community and how to help.
Speaking of how to help, I want to take a look at the 12 most wanted items. And there's a lot here. What does the need look like here in our community? How vital is it that people step up and help out, especially this month?
So San Antonio has the highest food insecurity rate, poverty rate of any large metro city in the United States. We're feeding about 90,000 people every single week just through the food bank and our resources. And so taking a look at the 12 most wanted items, these are items that families can use and children, and they really go a long way going into the pantries and getting onto the tables.
And it's not just donations that people can help out with.
That's right. So there's 4 ways to help: food, time, money, and voice. So starting a food drive, giving us the gift of time and volunteering, donating money, $1 is 7 meals, and voice, spreading the word on how to give help and how to get help.
All right, Mary, thank you so much. If you guys have any questions about donations, when, where to go, we have all those answers. Just head to KSAT.com. Max Massey, KSAT 12 News.
High gas prices and inflation. U.S. consumers are expecting to catch a break soon. According to a new survey from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, numbers should drop for both 1-year and 3-year inflation expectations. Gas prices also continuing to fall, down a national average of $3.71 per gallon from a peak of more than $5 we saw back in June.
Check out traffic right now on this Monday, 5:06. We're at 281 in Sprucewood, and you can see traffic is moving very smoothly in both directions. I believe that's where you get on and off 410 there. This is 281 at Sprucewood.
And speaking of roads, there are a few parts of town where you're going to be tapping your brakes a lot more. Road crews doing some bridge and pavement work around town.
Traffic Authority Stephen Cavazos has a look at the detours that you need to know about.
The work continues in and around the Alamo City, so make sure that you plan your commute ahead of time and know what closures to be on the lookout for. Let's go ahead and start here, where we continue to see work take place off US 181 in Bexar County. Bridge work that has been current and, according to KSAT, should wrap on Monday, September 19th. It is overnight, 9 in the evening to 5 in the morning is when you can expect alternating lane closures in both directions from Wilson County line to I-37. Let's take a leap over here to Loop 410 over on the west side of San Antonio. You see a lot of work out there, and what we'll be seeing Coming next is pavement work that begins Tuesday, September 13th and should wrap on Tuesday, September 27th. It does start overnight, a little earlier than usual, 7 in the evening to 5 in the morning, alternating main lane closures in both directions from Ingram Road to US 90. Let's take one last look here. 281 bridge work continues on Friday, September 16th, 8 in the evening to 5 in the morning. Full closure of the intersection at Wilderness Oaks. So grab your phones. You can open your camera app by tapping the center of your screen and hit that QR code. That will take you directly to the KSAT traffic page, and that does have a list of current closures taking place in and around our area. So again, plan that commute ahead of time.
And we have to go back to earlier this morning because in San Antonio at the airport, we were under 70 degrees for the first time since late June with a low temperature of 69. And we even made it down to 61 in Boerne, 61 in Kerrville, noticeably warmer farther south of Highway 90. But you may have noticed that somewhat of a chill in the air compared to what we've been used to this summer. You're not crazy. It was the coolest reading since late June. We made it back into the 90s, though. 93 right now in Floresville, 95 in Santa Maria, and 92 in Mico, 92 near Lavernia and New Braunfels at 94. Pretty straightforward this afternoon and evening. Mostly clear, not much of a breeze out there. However, increasing humidity. We'll talk about our humidity trend. Also, with the return of more humidity, what our rain chances do in just a bit.
Thank you, Adam. Ahead on the news at 5, the world continues to mourn the loss of Queen Elizabeth II. The Queen's children taking part in a special ceremony in London today ahead of her funeral set for next week. We're going to give you a closer look coming up.
I'm Myra Arthur here in the newsroom. Here's what we're working on for the news at 6 o'clock today. Fentanyl overdoses are on the rise, and not just in big cities. Small towns are starting to see that in their communities as well. Floresville has now seen several overdoses. At 6, Erica Hernandez talks with Floresville police about how they're fighting this new problem and what they want the community to know. And a big announcement for those with hearing loss. The FDA finalizing a rule today that would make hearing aids available over the counter. A closer look at the economic impact that announcement could have. That and more coming up today at 6.
Thank you, Myra. A unique procession and tradition not seen for more than 70 years put into motion today in Scotland, all to honor the memory of Queen Elizabeth II.
The Queen's 4 adult children, including King Charles III, were part of that solemn procession in Edinburgh today. ABC's Faith Abube is in London with the latest.
For the first time since Queen Elizabeth's death, King Charles III and his siblings Princess Anne, Prince Andrew, and Prince Edward in a royal procession close behind their mother's coffin. A sea of mourners watching, the solemn cortege making its way down the Royal Mile from the Palace of Holyrood House to St. Giles Cathedral in Edinburgh. The coffin carried inside the church for a Thanksgiving and remembrance service. The Duke of Hamilton and Brandon placing the crown of Scotland atop the coffin, draped with the Scottish standard. The Queen's body will rest here for 24 hours, allowing the public to say goodbye to Britain's longest reigning monarch. Retired teacher Marion Clemenson arrived just before 6:30 a.m. local time to catch a glimpse.
I just can't believe that she's not here, because obviously the whole of my life I've known the Queen, and it was just Thursday. It was just dreadful news. We shed a tear, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
Among the mourners, a few anti-royal protesters. Police removing them for disturbing the peace.
I think the opinion polls are pretty clear. The vast majority of people in this country want to keep the monarchy. Of course, there are people who disagree.
A week from the Queen's funeral in London, tributes outside Buckingham Palace only growing. Earlier today, King Charles making his first address to Parliament, members expressing their condolences to the new King and Queen consort. Back in Scotland, the Queen's children holding vigil by their mother's side. And once the Queen's coffin arrives here in London, starting Wednesday, people will be allowed to file past the body 24 hours a day to pay their final respects until Monday, the day of the funeral. That day will be a holiday across the UK, and massive crowds are expected. In London, Faith Abube, ABC News.
It's a picture that experts have been waiting for more than 5 years. Take a look at this newly released image of the Orion Nebula. The picture was taken by the James Webb Space Telescope. It can detect infrared light, letting scientists see through layers of dust, which usually blur deeper areas. Scientists around the world say the new information will let them better understand how stars and planetary systems form in the first place. Beautiful.
That's a frameable shot right there.
Yeah.
It looks artificial, doesn't it?
It does.
It's like a painting.
Yeah.
And a beautiful postcard shot above San Antonio Sky 12.
And you know, today, a lot of sunshine out there, but it felt a little better. The air felt okay. You know, we've had a little drop in the humidity lately, and we've noticed it, but don't get used to it. I'm sorry. We're going to see the higher humidity kick back in just within hours. So lower humidity for now. And I do think we'll have some afternoon breaks in the humidity just for a couple of days. And then it's back to reality, just stickiness all day long, especially by Thursday. High temperatures remaining in the mid 90s. And we do have a few rain chances to talk about. Let's get right to that. Nothing really extraordinary. A 10% chance tomorrow. So a few stray pop-up showers possible, especially north and east of San Antonio. And then by Thursday, Friday, we're talking a 20% chance and then a 10% chance on Saturday. So nothing significant, unfortunately, in terms of rain. But I want to talk about this little break in the humidity. Bernie Stage, the dew point's down to 55. Officially at the airport in San Antonio, dew point's down to 59 right now. I mean, that puts us just barely in the pleasant category. Remember, anything under 60 feels nice and pleasant outside in terms of a lack of mugginess in the air. And most of this little bit of an afternoon humidity break is along and north of Highway 90. And remember, this is because of drier air aloft that mixes downward into the afternoon. And I think we'll have similar the next couple of days, but that's just going to be for the afternoons. Notice this evening, we start to see that humidity ramp up after dark and dew points by sunrise tomorrow morning right at 70 degrees. But again, a little break in the humidity during tomorrow afternoon and again Wednesday afternoon. That's it. Otherwise, you'll notice the stickiness throughout all day by Thursday through the weekend. Temperature wise today, of course, that morning low of 69, the first time we were below 70 degrees since late June. 93 our high temperature, that's 2 degrees above average. The record 103 set back in the late 1800s. You look at readings right now, Kerrville 88, 93 Gonzales, 89 in Uvalde, up to 95 in Cotulla at this time, and same with Devine, 93 in Seguin. Temperature is pretty straightforward for this time of year. Tomorrow morning, not quite as cool as what we had earlier today. Remember, we had lower 60s in parts of the hill country earlier this morning. We're thinking Bulverde 66, Comfort as well, along with Bernie, Bandera about 68 in the morning, right near 70 and even in the lower 70s throughout San Antonio and Bexar County. Then by tomorrow afternoon, we get right back up into the mid 90s for most of us, about 95 officially in town. Nixon about 94, 95 in Hondo, and Bernie about 91. So pretty straightforward in terms of the afternoon temperatures, and even our mornings are going to be on the rise in the days ahead as higher humidity returns. Quiet across Texas right now. I want to talk about the tropics very briefly. Little bit of activity out there that could turn in to our next tropical cyclones. I mean, we're talking a 20% chance. Two very weak waves out there, way out in the Atlantic, actually closer to Africa, that have that 20% chance over the next 5 days. So pretty quiet in the tropics still, considering September 10th is the peak of hurricane season. And now we're the 12th. So we're starting to get back on that downward trend, climatologically speaking. Tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., we're talking 70 degrees. By 10 a.m., we're at 82. At noon, right near 90, a lot of sunshine. And then just that 10% chance of a few showers popping up as we go from about 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. with 95 the high temperature and a southeasterly breeze at about 5 to 10. Low to mid 90s the rest of the week, and for the most part, mid 90s, and just those 20% chances of a few afternoon showers by Thursday and Friday. But otherwise, no significant weather features to stir things up yet.
Yep, doesn't really look like football weather, though.
No, well, maybe South Texas football weather, but could the Cowboys have had a more horrible start to the season?
Let's put it this way. That offense was a train wreck long before the engine left the track, if you know what I mean, because when we come back, the Cowboys, as it turns out, were the only NFL team on Sunday not to score a touchdown. And just how long will Dak be out after his injury in the fourth quarter? Coming up.
Go
football coverage. Powered by Davis Law Firm.
Dak Prescott was already in the middle of his worst performance since he was a rookie when disaster struck. After only being able to put up 3 points in the first drive of the first quarter, the lethargic Cowboys offense suffered its worst season opening setback when Dak Prescott was injured in the 19-3 loss. Happened in the fourth quarter against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when his throwing hand was bent back on the follow-through. Unable to grip the ball, Prescott would head to the sideline where the joint just below his thumb was examined, and then later X-rays confirmed the fracture and that surgery today was required. Prescott would later appear at his post-game press conference actually wearing a soft cast on his right hand, and now we are hearing he could be out for the next 6 to 8 weeks.
Thought I jammed it. I mean, I've hit my hand on helmets or bodies a lot in my career, and never really had anything, maybe a jammed finger here, and I actually thought that's what it was. Just the next play, realized I couldn't grip the ball, let the sideline know. And then when I got off, I told the trainers the same thing. I was just like, I can't grip. I feel like if you yank it, I'll be okay. And no, we came in, got x-rays, and things are different.
Our Larry Ramirez was in Arlington last night and has more reaction on the injury to the Cowboys star quarterback.
Talk about a horrible season opener for the Cowboys last night. First, they only managed to score 3 points in their loss to Tampa Bay. And then QB1 Dak Prescott left the game late in the fourth quarter with a thumb injury on his right throwing hand that will likely shelve him for several weeks.
We got one rally around him, and we got to take care of business while he's on the sideline. And so I mean, it's gonna be big on the O-line and running backs. Just to kind of get that running game going and protect Coop.
This is something you hate to see. You may talking about a guy who pours his heart and soul out into this program and works his butt off every single day. So you hate to see something like that happen.
I mean, Coop's a hell of a player, but I mean, we just gotta focus on tomorrow and the next day, and I can't think too far ahead right now. I'm still on this loss right now.
Yeah, I mean, this guy works so hard, battles through injuries, got back from the ankle. He's the heart and soul of the team, and he's our leader. But he'll grind through this one like he always does, and he'll be back.
So it appears the Cowboys are going to turn things over to Cooper Rush while Dak is out, unless, of course, the boys decide to sign another quarterback. Greg, back to you.
I think it's a Cooper Rush show from this point going forward against Cincinnati. we'll see
he
what
proved
happens.
he could win a game. I mean, he beat Minnesota last year.
Sure did. So we'll see.
I'm trying to look for the silver lining in all this.
In a very dark cloud.
Yes. Thank you, Greg.
More Cowboys. We'll be right back.
Tomorrow morning, we'll start the day right around 70 degrees in San Antonio. And then by the afternoon, we're talking mid-90s, just that 10% chance of a rogue afternoon shower, generally dry. And we will have a bit of a break from the humidity again tomorrow afternoon. But temperatures all around, generally speaking, mid-90s. Stinson on the south side, 96. 95 Seguin and Rio Medina about 94. The rest of the week, similar temperatures, but you will notice more humidity throughout even the afternoons, especially by Thursday through the weekend.
Boo.
Not fair.
Booing humidity. Not you, Adam. Just humidity.
I don't take it personally.
All right. Yeah.
Thanks for watching.